Welcome to the Pennsylvania State Archives Records Coordinator Training, your role as an Agency Records Coordinator. This training is intended to assist agency records coordinators and alternates who have been appointed as the agency representative regarding agency management functions. In this training module, you will recognize the basics of records management, become familiar with the basic laws, regulations, and directives behind the records management program, and understand your role of a records coordinator and what will be expected of you. So what is records management? Records management is the systematic control of records information from the time it is created until its final disposition. Because information is handled in various formats and media, records management encompasses photographs, microfilm, maps, motion picture films, videotapes, and audio tapes, as well as paper and electronic files. Electronic files can exist in many different places, from network drives to email to Microsoft Office, OneDrive, and SharePoint sites. Records management is concerned with the creation, distribution, use, retention, storage, retrieval, protection, preservation, and final disposition of records. So who is responsible for managing records in your agency? In accordance with Management Directive 210.5, a records coordinator is appointed by the agency head to have agency-wide responsibility for managing and coordinating the agency records management program. Agency records coordinators are authorized on behalf of the agency to update agency retention and disposition schedules and approve destruction of agency records per the appropriate retention schedules. They provide technical direction to agency staff for agency records activity in coordination with the Pennsylvania Historic and Museum Commission, PHMC, and the Office of Administration. They must be knowledgeable about records management principles, basic laws, and regulations regarding the records in their agency. The Records Management Program is administered by the Office of Administration, Office of Continuity and Records Information Management, OCRM, on behalf of the Governor and the Secretary of Administration. The Pennsylvania Historical and Museum Commission, PHMC, is responsible for implementing the program. In addition, the Pennsylvania State Archives is responsible for the appraisal and acquisition of historically valuable records and is responsible for the storage of inactive government records at the State Records Center. There are various Pennsylvania laws, regulations, and policies that define and support the records management program. They provide authority and guidance for agency records coordinators in the administration of the agency records management program. Listed next are frequently referenced laws, regulations, and policies. The Administrative Code of 1929 authorizes the Executive Board to approve retention and disposition of records and microfilming of records, requires executive branch administrative departments, boards, and commissions to obtain the PHMC's approval before disposing of their records, and authorizes the Executive Board, with approval of the PHMC, to direct the transfer of executive branch agency records of permanent value or historical content to the Pennsylvania State Archives. The History Code authorizes the PHMC to negotiate for the receipt of public records from any Commonwealth agency or political subdivision, and authorizes the transfer of inactive historically valuable government records. Management Directive 210.5, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania State Records Management Program, establishes the policy for the State Records Management Program. Each agency is responsible for supporting an active records management program for agency records. In addition, the agency head is responsible for appointing an agency records coordinator and alternate to administer and coordinate their agency records program. M210.7, State Records Management Manual, establishes guidelines and responsibilities for the management of state government records. It is designed to assist Commonwealth employees agency continuity program managers, and agency records coordinators in identifying essential and agency records, as well as organizing, maintaining, and transferring or disposing of records created and used in day-to-day operations. The Right to Know Law, Public Law 6, Number 3, or RTKL, is the Pennsylvania's Right to Know law, which defines a record as information regardless of physical form or characteristics that documents a transaction or activity of an agency and that is created, received, or retained pursuant to law or in connection with a transaction, business, or activity of the agency. In addition, all records are presumed to be public records unless disclosure is barred by state or federal law or regulation, judicial order, privilege, attorney-client, or doctor-patient, or one of the exceptions in Section 708 of the Right to Know law. As the agency records coordinator, you will be involved with RTKL in your agency. Your knowledge of where agency records are kept and how long they are to be kept will be of great assistance to the agency's Open Records Officer. The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Employee Records Management Manual, M2101, is intended to assist employees in organizing, maintaining, and disposing of records created and used in day-to-day operations in accordance with Management Directive 210.5. So what is the responsibility of a records coordinator? An agency records coordinator should be able to interpret and implement the basic laws, regulations, and policies of the records management program, should work with program offices to create and help maintain their office file plan, should collaborate with your agency continuity program manager to identify essential records needed to support your agency's continuity of operations plan or COOP plan, assist your agency's Open Records Officer in locating records for the Right to Know or RTKL requests, maintain and update your agency records schedule, and manage the transfer of records to the State Records Center and the Pennsylvania State Archives. Consult with your agency legal liaison on application of laws and regulations to agency records retention. Consult with your PHMC liaison archivist to ensure that records marked as archival, designated as a Code 2 or 7 on your agency-specific schedule, are sent to the Pennsylvania State Archives. Maintain contact with your agency ERMS users and make sure they are up to date with any changes. Provide records management training for agency personnel when needed. If being your agency records coordinator sounds like an awful lot of work, do not worry. We at the PHMC and OCRM will assist and aid you on your journey to becoming an effective records coordinator. This concludes the first part of Records Coordinator Training, your role as an agency records coordinator. To continue in this series, please go to Records Coordinator Training, the two schedules, General and Agency Specific. If you have any questions or concerns, please contact the Records Division at ra-phstaterecordsarc@pa.gov. Thank you.